Materials and methods. Materials used were the various works done in the area of soil fertility management in the savanna regions within the sub-Saharan Africa. These are published courses, journal papers, annual reports and technical reports. It also included works done by the author, students' dissertation supervised by the author and personal experiences gathered. Success stories from other interventions by the government and non-governmental organizations implemented in the form of projects to raise soil fertility status in the zone were also considered. All were reviewed, discussed and conclusions drawn from the results of these various practices. The various interventions being practiced within the subregion to enhance or maintain the soil fertility status include the manipulating of the crops planted, cropping systems, in the area. Others are land rotation, conservation agriculture and the application of different types of soil fertility enhancing materials and the integration of some or all of these as a single treatment. The difficulties associated with adoption of these practices will also be outlined. Some of these are: land rotation or shifting cultivation. It is a crop production system based on rotation of cultivated period on a given piece of land. The cultivated period is always shorter than the fallow period because the system is characterized by the use of very little or no external soil fertility improving inputs. The soil fertility is therefore recovered by a natural process which is often very slow. The length of fallow period is determined by land availability but can last between 10 and 20 years, after which the vegetation is cut back to allow another cycle of farming activities. EPA, 2011. This is no longer practiced because of the scarcity of arable land as a result of high growth in population of the country. Cover cropping and improved short-season fallow with leguminous cover crop. The practice of planting certain crops to cover the cultivated area of fallow land, thereby providing protection for the purpose of reducing erosion by raindrop splash and surface runoff and weed growth, is referred to as cover cropping. Where necessary, cover crops are cut down or killed by weedicides so that the seasonal crops can be planted in the mulch. Improved short fallow is the planting of leguminous cover crops consciously with the objective of protecting the soil surface and fixing nitrogen as part of the crop fallow. The system is practiced where land is limited and farmers rely on little or no external soil enhancing materials to improve the soil fertility status. Examples of cover crops: Mucuna pruriens, Dolichos lablab, Canavelia ensiformis. Sometimes edible cover crops such as the creeping types of cowpea are used. Improved fallow systems using, for example, Mucuna prurien share promoted by different projects in Ghana. So far, the system seems to be adopted only by some farmers in certain areas. Kwanzaa et al., 1998. Benefits observed by the farmers may vary and include increased soil moisture, weed suppression and residual yield effects on maize. Leguminous fallows have been used in northern Ghana to accumulate N from biological infixation, BNF, smother weeds, and improve soil physical properties. Fosu et al., 2004. Leguminous cover crop systems apparently were more extensively tested than tree fallow systems in the country. Demand for arable land in many parts of the country has increased in recent years in response to increasing human population. This situation is gradually moving the emphasis from resting fallow to continuous and intensive cropping. However, some farmers in southern Ghana can still fallow their lands up to 2 years or 2 seasons. Leguminous cover crops such as Calopogonium, Dolichos, Mucuna and Canavelia species are the main cover crops used during this short fallow. In the north, farmlands to undergo short-term fallow of about 2 years were planted to either Mucuna or Calopogonium and left for these number of years. In the third year the residue was either plowed in, or if it was dry, the crop was planted directly into the mulch. This system was found to increase maize yields in both on-station and on-farm trials, Kambayuk et al., 1995, as seen in Table 1. The highest mean yield of maize was obtained when residue was left but maize planted in it, and this could be due to the microclimate created by the residue on the surface and the decay of some of the residue to make it available to the crop. Maize yield, kg/ha, under 4 different management practices after 2 years of Calopogonium fallow and 3 rates of nitrogen fertilizer at 9 kala. Source: Kambayuk et al., 1995. In the wetter southern parts of the country, Canavelia or Mucuna is planted as a minor season fallow, from August to March. In the next major season beginning in April, farmers plant their crops, maize, yam, cassava or any other crop, through the mulch without burning. Weed control in the crops is by the hoe in northern Ghana and cutlass in southern Ghana when necessary. Where rainfall during the major season is not reliable, farmers plant the cover crop in April, and plant the food crop in the minor season, August to September. A synthesis of results of trials of a mucuna fallow system by Karski et al. 2001, suggested that in simultaneous intercropping systems, the yield of maize associated with mucuna decreased dramatically as the mucuna smothers the maize. However, maize yield reduction from relay intercropping of mucuna at 40 to 50 days after maize planting is only about 5%. Similarly, in a 2-year study on a typical planthic plan Lustolf in the savanna zone of Ghana, Kombayuk and Claudy, 2003, found that maize grain yields obtained after 2 years of interplanting mucuna was highest at 6 weeks after planting followed by 8 weeks after planting and the least was obtained from 10 weeks after planting, Table 2. It was also found that N was highest in the plot with mucuna planted 6 and 8 weeks after maize compared to 10 weeks in the bush fallow treatments due to the amount of biomass produced by the cover crop. They concluded that the highest yields of maize from relay cropping of mucuna 6 weeks after maize was due to the beneficial effects of the decay of the higher mucuna biomass produced in that treatment in the previous years. It is clear that if mucuna does not accumulate substantial biomass, then it will not accumulate sufficient N as well as suppress weeds. They however recommended the pruning of mucuna as a management strategy to ensure it does not smother the maize crop in association with the cover crop. Maize grain yield as affected by time of interplanting mucuna in maize and after 2 years of continuous mucuna. 1 for a factor. Means followed by a similar letter in a column are not significant at 5% level of significance. 2 op. Weeks after planting. Source, Kombayuk and Claudy 2003. In some cases where weed infestation is high, farmers still have to do one weeding. After establishment, the mucuna survives the short dry period during July to August and later forms a thick biomass that peaks in mid-November. This biomass canopy then covers the soil until it starts to decompose in the dry season in December-January. Mucuna seeds are then harvested and stored for later use. Unlike the late maturing mucuna variety, planting the medium to early maturing mottled variety is done at the onset of the minor season, Luz et al. 2001. Clearing and at least one initial weeding may be necessary for successful establishment. Once established, the biomass covers the soil surface and dies back naturally with the onset of the dry season. This means that no other food crop can be planted on the land that has an improved mucuna fallow. After the improved fallow, farmers plant any other crop such as maize, yam, cassava or plantain. Incorporating mucuna into the local cropping systems by intercropping mucuna with plantain during the first season can be very economical. Such a system reduces the overall demand for labor, as it requires only spot weeding of mucuna beans at certain intervals. In places where rice cultivation is significant, farmers have developed and adapted mucuna rice rotations. Here, farmers cultivate rice in the major season and follow it with mucuna in the minor season to suppress weeds and improve the fertility of the soil. Canavelia entiformis did not attract the same attention as mucuna because it was less vigorous in growth and did not suppress weeds as well as mucuna. The less aggressive nature of Canavelia made it an ideal cover crop to use in mixed cropping systems.